Hey, so how does collective consciousness work? Well, you may have experienced being with a group of friends or a crowd or something, and you you feel like um, this sense of shared experience, right? That somehow this feeling that you are feeling is being shared uh, by the whole crowd, or by your friend groups, or who you're with. Like whenever your friends and you come up with the same idea at the same time, and you're like, wow, I got that mind link going on. That's cool. Um, and so, yeah, there's a collective consciousness. The consciousness is one. There's only one consciousness, one mind. We all exist uh, as a part of that mind. Um, and so, firstly, how does the mind create experience? Well, um, originally, uh, it was infinite intelligence, pure infinite intelligence. And so the infinite intelligence um, split itself off um, perceptually into these limited uh, locuses of perception that have a finite perception to it. And this allows experience to take place because as infinite perception and experience, there's no relativity, there's no comparison, there's no contrast. Experience can only take place through contrast and relativity. And so, for contrast and relativity to exist, there must be finite perception rather than infinite perception. And so, that's the situation we find ourselves in, right? The collective consciousness um, has created an illusion of separation to split itself off into um, what seems like to us to be many different beings with different experiences. And so, uh, how do the actual mechanics of collective consciousness function? So, uh, all energy that you feel originates first as primordial energetic archetypes that are universal. They're universal, basic archetypes of experience. The most basic um, would be expansion and contraction. The feelings of expansion or contraction within the body mind. Um, so you'll notice all feelings of positivity will be associated with this sort of expansion feeling um, or this openness feeling within your body. It's a sensation of expansion, of openness. And there's a sensation of contraction whenever we experience suffering or negativity. Okay, so imagine you are in your group setting with your friends. Um, Universal archetypes are always passing through the collective consciousness, um, as orchestrated by the infinite intelligence originally. And so all these archetypes are just passing through like waves, and they pass through the entire consciousness. Everyone feels the same primordial archetypes, but how these archetypes manifest in your individual experience will vary from person to person. And that is because your karma, which you can think of in this case as your unique genetic expression and epigenetic expression, um, that karma will determine how the primordial archetype um, manifests within your experience. So, for example, um, your group, your friend group sitting in a circle, a primordial archetype wave of contraction may pass through the group, but due to one person's unique genetic and epigenetic karma, that contraction actually manifests um, as a, as a form of happiness within that person. And then for you, it may manifest as what it originally was as the contraction. Because what happens is that these primordial archetypes, once they enter your unique um, uh, energetic field of light, your unique karma that is manifested as your genetics, once the original primordial archetype enters your unique field, it fractals off, right? It goes through a fractaling um, into more specific and nuanced and different uh, experiences. Um, so, so a contraction can, uh, a primordial contraction can fractal off within your experience to be many different sensations. And the way you feel sensations and the way your friend feels sensations um, will be similar in some ways, but never exactly the same. But sometimes, whenever we're are karmically aligned with other people, we get these things that we experience as like mind links, where we have the same idea or the same feeling or the same experience at the same time. Or one friend gets it and then the next friend gets it a second later. And so, yeah, your unique genetic and epigenetic karma is what determines how the primordial archetype will manifest within you. How the fractaling takes place of the primordial archetype will determine your personality and your patterns within your experience. So that's how the collective consciousness works. It's one consciousness with primordial archetypes, universal archetypes passing through everyone simultaneously, but then at at certain points, the archetypes will fractal off, and the fractal pattern continues growing greater and greater, more diverse, more varied, more complex, more unique, and it's probably not arbitrary what causes. In fact, I'm pretty confident to say it's not arbitrary at all what causes or at what points does a new fractaling of the archetype begin. But being able to describe that process is beyond my current understanding. So yeah, I hope this sheds some light on how the collective consciousness really functions, how shared experiences happen with karmic alignment, and how universal archetypes can be manifested as very, very different, completely different experiences from person to person, yet fundamentally have their origin, these different experiences have their origin in the same primordial archetypes that are passing through the collective consciousness at any given time. So, yeah, leave thoughts, ideas down below. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Peace.